Long ago, in a quiet land between mountains and rivers, there lived a boy who could not understand the world. He saw men work from sunrise to sunset, yet stay poor all their lives. He saw others do very little, yet they never lacked anything. At night, he would sit outside his small home, watching the stars, whispering to himself, "If the same sun shines on all men, why do some live in darkness?" His father was a good man, honest, disciplined, and hardworking, but he always said the same words. "Work hard, son. Don't take risks. Save what you can. One day, life will reward you." Yet, life never did. And when his father grew old and tired, the boy made a promise beneath the moon. "I will not live in confusion. I will find the truth about wealth." He heard of two masters, both wise in different ways. One lived among men, known for his discipline and order. The other lived far away, beyond rivers and hills, known for his calm and strange peace. The boy decided he would find them both. The first master lived in the heart of a busy town. He was a craftsman, a builder whose hands shaped wood, stone, and iron into beauty. People said his work never cracked, never failed, never faded. When the boy approached, he found the master carving a table under the hot sun. He bowed and said, "Master, I wish to learn how to become wealthy." The old craftsman smiled faintly, without looking up. "Then first," he said, "learn how to create value." And so the boy worked under him. He rose before dawn, carried wood, mixed clay, and learned the art of building. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. The boy saved every coin, spent little, and built his name among the people. He grew stronger, wiser, and more respected. But one evening, he saw the master still working long after sunset, his hands shaking from exhaustion, sweat dripping onto the wood he carved. The boy asked softly, "Master, when will you rest?" The craftsman paused, smiled weakly, and said, "When I stop building, I stop earning." That night, the boy couldn't sleep. He looked at his own rough hands and whispered, "If wealth ends when work ends, then I am still poor." The next morning, he bowed deeply. "Master, you've taught me how to work, but I must now learn how to live." And he left the town, heading toward the mountains in search of the second master. The journey was long. He crossed rivers, climbed hills, and slept under the stars until he reached a quiet valley. There, by a flowing stream, he found an old man sitting with his eyes closed, listening to the water. The boy bowed and said, "Master, I have worked, I have saved, and I have built. Yet I feel empty. Teach me how to become truly wealthy." The old man did not answer. He opened his eyes slowly, looked at the boy, and said, "You seek wealth, but you do not yet understand what it is." The boy frowned. "Then help me understand." The master shook his head gently. "Understanding is not given, it is earned. If you truly wish to learn, stay, but I will not teach until you are ready." The boy stayed. Days passed. He helped the old man gather firewood, carry water, tend the garden. He asked no questions. Waiting patiently, on the seventh day, the master spoke. "You have learned silence. That is the first step. Now, I will teach you 3 truths about wealth." The master handed the boy a single seed. "Plant this by the river and water it every day." The boy obeyed. He watered it faithfully. Days passed, but nothing grew. He felt discouraged, but continued. On the 12th day, a small sprout broke through the soil. The master said, "Ani, that is how wealth grows, unseen at first." The impatient abandon their seed before it sprouts, but the patient, they harvest forests. One morning, the master gave the boy a small jar with 10 coins. "Use these coins," he said. "When you return, they must have children." The boy thought deeply. He used the coins to buy fruits from travelers and sold them in nearby towns. With his profits, he bought simple tools and rented them to farmers. Weeks later, he returned with 20 coins. The master smiled. Money that sleeps dies, but money that works multiplies. The poor save to feel safe. The wise invest to grow free. One dawn, the master took him to the river. The sun was rising, and its reflection danced across the water. "Tell me, what do you see?" the master asked. The boy replied, "The river flows, and the sun gives it light." The old man smiled. "Then learn this. Wealth must flow like the river and give like the sun. If it stops moving, it spoils. If it stops shining, it dies." The boy understood. He bowed and said, "True wealth is not what I keep, but what I create and share." The master nodded, pleased. "Then you are ready. Go, and let what you've learned flow through your hands and your heart." Years later, the boy returned to his homeland, no longer poor, no longer lost. He built farms that fed hundreds, businesses that lifted families, and schools that taught others how to create, not just survive. When people asked, "How did you become so wealthy?" he smiled and said, "I once served 2 masters. One taught me how to work for money. The other taught me how to make money work for me." True wealth begins in the mind, not the pocket. The poor man works for survival. The wise man works for freedom. The poor man fears losing. The wise man fears not growing. And when asked for his final advice, he said, "The first master taught me to shape wood. The second taught me to shape my thoughts. But true wealth came when I learned to shape lives." He looked up at the golden sky and whispered, "The poor chase gold, but the wise, they become it." And if this story resonates with you, subscribe for more videos like this.